You ever feel like there's just something more to manifestation, beyond just thinking positively?
Yeah, like a deeper layer, maybe.
Exactly.
Mhm.
What if, like ancient wisdom, actually had some blueprints for it? Surprisingly modern ones, even.
Well, that's pretty much exactly what we're digging into today.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we're looking at this really interesting article, The Bhagavad Gita and Manifestation, Lessons from Arjuna's Awakening.
Okay. The Gita. Wow.
Right. It explores how these, ancient Vedic ideas connect with how we think about manifestation now.
So not the usual wish and it appears kind of thing.
Definitely not. This article connects the Gita's teachings to things like the law of attraction, sure, but also subconscious reprogramming, even quantum shifts in who we are.
Quantum shifts. Okay, intriguing.
Yeah, the author, Hector Jesus Arancibia, he calls the Gita a metaphysical roadmap, which I think really captures it.
A roadmap. I like that. So it's less about just spirituality and more like a practical guide.
That seems to be the angle, yeah. How our inner world, our thoughts, our deeply held beliefs actually shape what happens outside, moving beyond just surface level manifestation techniques.
Okay, cool. So for you listening, maybe this can offer some of those aha moments, connecting these old ideas to stuff you're working on today.
That's the hope.
So I guess our mission here is to unpack what the article calls Vedic manifestation, see what the core ideas are, and, figure out the practical side of it.
Sounds good. Where should we start?
Well, the article lays out some foundations, right?
Hmm.
What are the core principles of this Vedic approach?
Right. So it boils down to three main things: Dharma, discipline, and inner transformation.
Dharma. It's like your purpose, your duty.
Kind of, yeah. Your inherent nature, your righteous path. And then discipline, obviously, consistent practice. And transformation, changing from the inside out. It's holistic.
Not just focusing on the goal itself.
Exactly. And this is where the Gita's setting, the battlefield, becomes really important. Kurukshetra.
Yeah, the article says that battlefield isn't just history, it's us, the war within.
Precisely. Our own internal struggles, conflicts, doubts. That's the real battlefield the article is pointing to.
Makes sense.
And there's this powerful moment early on. Krishna tells Arjuna, and the article highlights this: do not yield to this weakness. Shake off this petty faint-heartedness and arise.
Whoa. So, like, step one is facing your own limiting beliefs. Don't give in to the doubt.
Basically, yeah. The
Mm.
article frames it as Krishna saying that smallness you feel, that's not you, step up. It's about overcoming those internal blocks first.
Okay, and this is where it starts connecting to more modern ideas, isn't it? Like the law of attraction.
Yes, exactly. The article draws a direct line. It says Krishna's guidance mirrors that core low A idea. Consciousness shapes experience. Our inner state creates our outer reality.
So Arjuna's despair, that's him being stuck in, what, limiting beliefs?
Mm.
Fear.
That's how the article interprets it, yeah. His attachment, his fear, those beliefs holding him back. Sound familiar? It's the same stuff people wrestling with manifestation today talk about.
Totally. So the advice isn't just feel better, it's what? Don't act from that place of fear or ego.
Right. Krishna advises aligning with what the article calls a higher intelligence, moving beyond just emotional reactions or what the ego wants right now.
Okay, higher intelligence. Is that like intuition
Uh-huh.
or something bigger?
It seems to imply something, perhaps like a connection to cosmic wisdom, or just a deeper knowing beyond our immediate reactive self. The article doesn't fully define it, but the idea is to act from that aligned place.
Which connects to what people like Abraham Hicks or Joe Dispenza talk about, right? The article mentions them.
It does. That idea that your vibration creates your reality. Acting
Yeah.
from fear, attracts more fear. Acting from clarity, from purpose, that creates a different result. It's about the energy you're putting out.
Got it. Now here's something that sounds a bit paradoxical. The article talks about non-attachment with full alignment. How does that work? How can you be non-attached but also aligned towards something?
Huh, yeah, it sounds contradictory at first, doesn't it? But it's crucial. The article points to Gita 2.47 here. It's basically saying, do your part, put in the work, be fully present, and align with the action.
Okay.
But release the outcome. Let go of needing it to happen in one specific way on your specific timeline.
Ah, so it's not passive indifference. It's
Mhm.
active engagement without the desperate clinging to the result.
Exactly. You plant the seed, you water it, you do everything right, but you don't obsess over the sprouting. You trust the process.
The article calls it harmonizing with rhythm. What's rhythm?
Rhythm is this Vedic concept of cosmic order, like
Yeah.
the underlying rhythm and intelligence of the universe. So instead of trying to force things, you're aligning your actions with that natural flow.
Okay, aligning with the flow.
Mm-hmm.
That makes more sense than just forcing. So we've got this inner battle, consciousness, non-attachment.
Mm-hmm.
What about Arjuna's big crisis moment? The article goes deeper there, right?
It does, and it frames it as something potentially very relevant for us, Arjuna's breakdown. It's presented as a metaphor for when our own identity, our old self, starts to crumble.
Like hitting rock bottom almost.
Kind of, yeah, or just realizing the way you saw yourself doesn't fit anymore. The article uses this really potent phrase, the self must die for the soul to rise.
Wow, that's intense.
It is.
Hmm.
But it's describing that profound shift, what it calls a quantum leap in manifestation, letting go of the old limited identity to allow the true self, the soul, to emerge.
Making space for something new. And this connects to Krishna talking about the soul being indestructible.
Exactly. Gita 2.17. The article argues that really getting this, that your core essence is unchanging, indestructible, totally shifts how you manifest.
How so?
Well, instead of coming from fear or lack or ego, you start operating from what the article terms soul consciousness.
Soul consciousness.
Yeah. And that, the article claims, is where real, lasting abundance actually comes from, that deep inner knowing of who you truly are.
Which leads us right into the subconscious mind, doesn't it? Big topic in manifestation circles.
Huge.
Hmm.
And the article sees the subconscious as this vital link, this bridge between the divine, or that higher intelligence, and our material reality.
Okay. So how does the Gita suggest we work with it? Is it just affirmations?
It's deeper than that, according to this interpretation. The Gita offers two key practices mentioned in verse 6.35, abhasa and vairagya.
Abhyasa and Vairagya. We heard Vairagya, that's non-attachment, right?
Correct. And abhasa means consistent, disciplined practice, steady effort.
So it's like a double whammy. You consistently practice the inner work, cultivate the state you want.
And simultaneously practice letting go of your desperate need for a specific outcome. You do both.
That makes sense. You're training the mind and letting go of control. And the article says modern science kind of backs this up.
It does, yeah. It connects it directly to neuroscience. Things like repetition and emotional intensity key factors in rewiring our brains.
Neuroplasticity.
Exactly, neuroplasticity. The article mentions a Harvard study, I think from 2005, showing brain changes from meditation and visualization.
Wow, like actual physical changes.
Apparently so. And it also brings up another study from 95 about visualizing playing the piano.
Oh, I think I've heard of that one.
Right. People just imagine practicing, and their brain development in the motor cortex areas was similar to those who physically practiced.
That's wild. It really shows the power of the mind.
It really does, and it brings us back to that Vedic idea the article emphasizes. Thought becomes form when the mind is stilled and aimed like an arrow. Focus, consistency.
And letting go, maybe, is the stilling part.
Could be. Stilling the anxious chatter, perhaps. So, okay, Arjuna's transformation is presented as the model for this whole process.
Right, his quantum leap. How does that play out?
It culminates in him basically saying, okay, I get it now. Gita 18.73. My illusion is now gone. I am firm, free from doubt, and prepared to act according to your word.
So a total shift. He's not the confused, despairing guy anymore.
Nope. Complete internal realignment. And the article links this to Neville Goddard's idea of assuming the wish fulfilled.
Ah, okay. So Arjuna started being the person who could fulfill his dharma.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He shifted his identity from fearful relative to, well, a warrior aligned with divine will, and then his actions and realities started reflecting that inner shift. He embodied it.
That's powerful. Now, the article also brings in something from cognitive psychology, the RAS.
Yeah, the reticular activating system. Basically, it's like a filter in your brain.
A filter for what?
For information, it prioritizes what you pay attention to based on your beliefs, your goals, what you deem important.
Okay.
So the article suggests Krishna's advice to turn the mind inward, to focus it, essentially helps you reprogram your RAS. You're telling your brain what's important to look for.
So as you change your inner state, your beliefs, your focus, your brain literally starts noticing different things in the world.
That's the idea. Opportunities, solutions, perspectives that were invisible before because your RAS wasn't tuned to them.
So your beliefs are like directing the spotlight of your attention.
Precisely. The article really underscores how belief shapes reality by directing perception. Your RAS looks for evidence of what you already believe.
Okay, this is all fascinating theory. But what about doing something? Does the article give practical steps?
It does. It offers 4 actionable practices inspired by the Gita.
Let's hear 'em.
Okay, first is svadhyaya, daily self-study. Specifically, it suggests taking one verse of the Gita each day and really meditating on it, letting it sink into the subconscious.
Like installing new software. What's next?
Second, chanting or meditation. It mentions focusing on Krishna mantras, though it doesn't list specific ones, just the practice itself.
Okay, makes sense for focusing the mind. Third,
Third is acting without attachment. We talked about this. The practical exercise is to pick one action each day, do it with full presence and pure intention.
and consciously let go of the outcome.
Right. Training the subconscious to trust the process, not just the result.
And the last one.
Number 4 is visualization with Dharma. This isn't just picturing a new car.
Right.
It's about visualizing yourself living your highest purpose, embodying your Dharma. Like Arjuna visualizing himself as the courageous warrior he needed to be, focusing on the being, not just the having.
That feels deeper, more meaningful.
Yeah. And the article kind of wraps up by saying the Gita isn't just some old text, it's a living map.
A living map for navigating from fear to alignment.
Exactly, to conscious manifestation. It really drives home that the universe responds not just to forceful desire, but to conscious alignment.
Getting in tune with that cosmic flow, Rito.
Precisely. It's about cultivating that inner harmony first.
Okay, so if we were to boil it down, this Vedic approach to manifestation, according to the article, is really about what? Aligning your inner world with that cosmic order.
Yeah, through things like self-study, consistent practice, detachment, and really purposeful action based on your Dharma.
It definitely gives you a different lens to look at manifestation through, doesn't it?
It really does. So maybe as you're listening, you can think about how these ancient ideas might shift your own approach.
Yeah, here's something to chew on. If that battlefield, Kurukshetra, is your inner world, what's the main weakness? Maybe a fear, a belief, an old pattern that you're being called to face right now? What needs to be overcome so you can align with your version of that divine mission?
Or maybe think about it this way. How could letting go of your attachment to a specific outcome actually help you get closer to what you truly desire by allowing you to tap into that bigger cosmic flow?
Interesting questions to ponder.
Definitely. And just as a final note, the article itself mentions some related concepts if you want to explore more things like Saraswati, Lakshmi, and Ritam are mentioned with internal links in the source.
So potential paths for further exploration if this has sparked your interest.
Exactly. More threads to pull on for your own deep dive.